The last part of question 18, page 117. So basically we had worked out that after the first collision, this was moving at u times 1 minus e. This one was moving at u times 1 plus e. And when this one reached the wall, we worked out that the distance between them was 2e over 1 plus e. Okay, so now we need to look at what happens next. So this hits the wall, the coefficient of restitution is e, so this is going to come back. So it's now going to come back at minus e. Well, we say minus e because it's going in that direction. Okay, so it's coming back, but if we call it this direction, we can label it as minus e times u times 1 plus e. Okay, that's the new speed of this one. Or, if you prefer, you can write it as it's going in this direction at a speed of eu times 1 plus e. Okay, so we want to figure out now the next collision takes place at a distance from the wall. So they are 2e over 1 plus e apart. So we want to figure out when are they going to meet. So they're going to meet in the time it takes. Now, hold on a minute, actually. That's moving at a speed of eu times 1 plus e in that direction. That's meeting at a speed of u times 1 plus e. So we know that when they meet, they've both been travelling for a time t, okay? And we also know that in that time they have covered this distance, okay? So if we basically work out t, work out in, right, we know that that distance there, 2e over 1 plus e, is equal to the distance travelled by this one in time t. So it's equal to u times 1 minus e. Distance, dad's silly triangle again. So what's the distance travelled by this one in a time t? It's speed multiplied by its time. Okay, so we'll call it time t. Plus the distance travelled by this one, which is going to be eu times 1 plus e times t. Okay, so from that we can work out the time that the time at which they collide, and then we can either, if we want the distance travelled, we can either use this one or this one to figure out how far it went in that time. So let's get t first. Okay, 2e over 1 plus e is equal to, now take out the t, that's t times u times 1 minus e plus eu times 1 plus e. So all I've done is factored out the t. Now let's tidy that up. That's u minus eu plus eu. Oh, dear. No, that's right, sorry. Plus eu plus e squared u. What does that give me? The minus eu and the plus eu add to 0. So we get u plus e squared u. Or u times 1 plus e squared if you want. Okay, so what are we saying here? We're saying 2e over 1 plus e is equal to t times u times 1 plus e squared. So t is equal to 2e over 1 plus e, and we're now going to divide as well by u times 1 plus e squared. That's t. Okay, let's work that out. I'll just put that, let's go in that way. I don't know that we need it now anyway. Okay. Now, okay, so that's the time that it takes. So we want to figure out how far from the wall the collision takes place. So let's see how far this one will have travelled in that time. Okay, so we want the distance travelled by that one in that time. So distance equals speed multiplied by time. So the distance that one will have travelled out from the wall is its speed, which is eu times 1 plus e multiplied by the time, which is 2e over 1 plus e times u times 1 plus e squared. Okay, now That'll give you tops by tops, bottom by bottom. 2e squared u times 1 plus e over 1 plus e times u times 1 plus e squared. Okay. Now, we can divide, that goes into the top that many times, it goes into the bottom that many times. U goes into the top that times, and u goes into the bottom. That leaves me with 2e squared over 1 plus e squared. Yep, okay, that's it. All right.